What's up, my channel? It's your friendly neighborhood sassy blonde writer coming at you with another writing video. So, as you can see, I know I didn't do a wrap-up for May, and the reason why is because, well, I didn't get a lot of writing done. May was really hard for me because a lot of stuff at my day job was picking up, and so I didn't really have, like, the mental energy once I came home to actually start writing. And then another problem I've noticed I'm running into, like, especially throughout June, is I'm struggling to kind of pick one project that I really want to work on, because I've noticed one thing about myself is that I do a lot better when I have multiple projects going on. I like having multiple projects that I'm working on, and I really enjoy using shorter projects running kind of like in the background that I'm like working on, so that way I don't get fatigued with one project. And so I have some time off coming up in July, and so hopefully I get to working on that stuff. I'm also trying to figure out like a little project planner, so that way, because one thing I noticed is I was kind of getting overwhelmed with all these different project ideas that I have. And I'm also doing a July contest for Blueprint for a Book through Author Accelerator. I posted about it on Instagram because I was like, hey, look at me, I'm holding myself accountable. And so here I am trying to hold myself accountable. So I will be doing that contest for, I'm calling, the working title is The Troubled Mind Tweets, and it's an LGBTQ murder mystery that I'm working on. And so I'm also working on that. So I'm working on the blueprint for that for this contest, which should be really cool because the contest is going to be a great way for me to hold myself accountable. And I've noticed whenever I'm working on different writing projects, that kind of gets like the writing juices flowing. And so then all of a sudden I want to work on all my projects, including my novel that I've been working on since I took my little hiatus and everything. I've been making some progress with my novel as well. It hasn't really been very productive past couple of months, just because I've been so fatigued and anxiety has been running pretty high. Got a lot of family obligations and everything. It's been a lot, and I've been trying to kind of take it easy and give myself some grace. So I'm going to be spending the next couple of weeks just kind of getting my affairs in order with all the different projects I have going on. I'm currently working on my book, Cloak of War, also working on some children's books. So I'm actually taking a virtual course. It's been a really good book. It's been a really good course so far. I'll probably do a whole review on that at some point. And so I'm working on some children's books, and I'm also trying to work on a comic book, and I'm going to be co-writing it with my dad, which is going to be super cool. And that is it's kind of like the comic book is kind of it started off as like a joke between me and my friend, because we were playing this game called Pulsar. It was so we were playing it all together because it's a cooperative game, and we really liked going on adventures throughout space and everything. And so the comic book is kind of like a continuation of that with this group of friends, and so that's going to be really fun. And then I'm also working on The Troubled Mind Tweets, which is my mystery as well. And then I have a historical fiction book that I also am like kind of working with the idea of. So I have 5 projects that I'm working on. I've made a little bit of progress with all of them so far. Nothing to really brag about. More the facts. I'm honestly more proud of the fact that I was able to kind of organize my brain that way. Maybe because I like to have multiple projects going on, what can be hard for me is to kind of pick the projects to focus on at the moment. Because one thing I noticed is I like to have different projects at different stages of development. And so like I'm in the pre-writing phase for my murder mystery. I'm in the drafting phase for the children's books, and I'm also I'm in the obvious like revision stage for my novel that I've been working on, Cloak of War. And so I will keep you guys updated on how this goes. You know, will I crash and burn because I have too much going on? Will I fall asleep at my keyboard? Who knows? But stay tuned. Before I let you guys loose, I do want to talk about one thing that I got out of this picture book course that I'm going to do a whole review of at some point. One thing I just got out of it was talk about the initial idea, and what the concept that I just remembered her name, Julia Donaldson. She's the author of The Gruffalo, More Room on the Broom, and that sort of thing. In those books, she talks about how when you're ready to write, that's always when you come up with the idea, that's always the best idea to literally sit down and start writing. So what she refers to the idea of like just kind of keeping track of the ideas of like putting them in your little notes app, putting them in a notebook. She refers to it as putting them on ice. And that's something that I've noticed really helps me. I've started doing that just unintentionally, and I've also been watching a lot of documentaries and stuff on songwriters, specifically Taylor Swift, and that's something that a lot of songwriters do as well, where they'll come up with like a line for a song or like a concept for a song, and they'll just kind of keep track of that. And then when they're ready to write, they look through their little phone, their notebook, the notes, whatever, and that's when they can actually like really flesh out the idea that otherwise would not have been executed very well had they just done it in the moment. You know what I mean? And so that's something that I think is really important when you are when inspiration strikes, to kind of keep track of that. So what I've been doing to kind of stop myself from getting writer's block is I've been keeping track of all these little germs of ideas that I'll come up with. I'll keep track of them in like a notes app in my phone. Then when I'm either stuck or I'm looking for inspiration where I feel like writing but I don't have anything to write about, that is what I will go back to. And so I think that's probably one of the best tips I can give after these past couple of months where it's been kind of hard. So I guess over the past couple of months, the most progress I've made is kind of coming up with those little bits of ideas and everything. I just haven't had a chance to really flesh them out and put them into writing. And so hopefully that's what I get to work on the next month or so. I will let you guys know, of course. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. I'm chock full of writing advice and all that fun stuff. So if you enjoyed this, please like this video so I know you will want more content like this. And of course, happy writing.